So, Chameleon Flakes. Never used them before, but I've done a little bit of looking around on the internet about how you guys use them. And I want to test out these. It's easier if I just do that. Ta-da! Get rid of the box, and perfectly you can see what colours they are. I actually do this with a lot of my glitter. I store it upside down, especially if they're in a decent jar where nothing's actually going to come out, so I can see the top. If not, another tip is obviously if it's got the label on the top, that's great, but like these ones have. But a lot of glitters come with just a black top, so what I do is get a bit of glue, just PVA glue, put a bit on the top and then sprinkle whatever colour glitter is on the top. So these are the flakes, so these are not glitter, and I'm hoping they actually turn out to be flakes as well. So these was from Temu, and I'm going to test them out. So there is 4 big hearts here, and we've got 5 colours. No, I said flavours. We've got 5 colours. So I'm going to do the top 4 in, obviously the 4 of the colours, and then I'll probably do 2 of whichever colour one doesn't go up there, just so it doesn't feel left out. I've also made myself a little thing. I was sick of messing about with tape for this mould, and I use this mould all the time. So I need to get some epoxy resin mixed and also brush these into the mould. So let's give it a go. We'll try. I'm going to do my 4 top colours that I like. So I think this one I'm going to use on the 2 smaller hearts, because I actually think I want to use this in a different project, and I don't want to use loads of it on something else and not have enough, because I don't know how much you actually need to do this type of thing. You could even put your pot on top of it like that so it doesn't lift up at all. And me being me, I haven't took off all the lids, so I'll do that off camera, and I've just squirted it everywhere. I've done this before. It's not the first time it's happened, and it won't be the last. Reminds me of that stuff from Santa Claus the movie. What they feed the reindeers. I love that film. It's one of my all-time favourite Christmas films. Watch it every year with the kids. I've got a feeling it might be best to apply it with the brush and then burnish it with this. But I'm not entirely sure, so I'm just going to move that out of the way for now. Try and keep them ones covered, and I'm just going to go in with any excess and just burnish that in. Because it feels like I've got some flakes there that are not actually breaking up. I do plan on testing this against a branded product, just to see if you do get your money's worth from branded and from Temu. I'm just going to burnish that into the silicone as well, because I want to stop any flakes going into the ones next to it. If it's not flaky, it's not likely to go into the ones next to it. I feel like I'm getting some kind of bald spots where it's not sticking to the silicone. I think we've got a good cover on that. Just get rid of any loose bits. And we're going for the yellow, green, blue. I'm going to try the brush this time, see if it does anything different. And this just reminds me of like gold flakes. I don't know if that's the same thing or not, I don't know. And this seems to be putting it on a lot thicker. I'm scared of actually talking because it's very, very light. It's like a slight gust of wind would blow it everywhere. And I feel like that's done a better job of applying it with the brush. It's probably the right way you're supposed to do it. And then burnishing it with this. And if it is, I'm going to do that with the rest of them. If it is, that's the way you're supposed to do it, then I'll go back to the first one and I'll just top that up with extra flakes. Because this one seems to be giving a much better effect than the first one that we did. And I think it is because I used the brush to sort of get them in there. And then once it's stuck, it doesn't want to move. But it definitely seems to give a better coverage than the previous colour. So that's the yellow, blue, green. So we're now on to blue, violet, orange green. Onto the green, blue, yellow, red. I'm doing my best not to talk through this bit because it does get blown by talking. But then I'm starting to realise I'm not actually saying anything to you guys. So I think I quickly realised that the first method of applying this wasn't the best method. With this particular brush, I found that if you do the brush side of it first and then rub it in and blend it in with the little sponge bit at the other side, then that puts a thicker, better coat on for you. So I will be going in over the top of the very first one that we did, just to add any extra bits on there that we might need to do. I'm just a bit concerned that I can see quite a lot of flakes, like they're not being burnished in, but I really have rubbed that to best ability, so I'm not sure if it's because they are flakes or whether because it's this particular brand. I'm not sure. So I'm going to cover these back up and I'm going to go over that very first one again, because one, that is my favourite kind of colours, and I want to make sure it does what it's supposed to. I think I've used way too much this time. Let's try and burnish some of that in. And that's give us a better coating with just one more colour to go. And because this one has got quite a lot still near it, I'm going to use one of the other ones. See, I didn't get anywhere in there compared to what I normally would do, so happy with that. But I do want to make sure that I've got at least one heart in every colour. That's really pretty. It's like pinks and yellows, oranges. See, if I had the paper covering that bit, it won't be in all the other hearts. So I was right to cover it with paper. I'm wrong for removing it. As long as it don't go into these other top ones, I'm not fussed. I don't feel like this one's getting coated as well as the other ones did, but we'll see how it goes. Right, so that's all the colours done. I want to have a bit of a clean up before I go any further. So I'll do that off camera and I'll be back with you in a minute. So I've decided, because I always make too much resin, that I'm going to coat the inside of this, but I'm going to do it in one that I actually really like the look of, which I think is actually this colour here. So that's sort of, which one was that? I think, yeah, that one. Blue, violet, orange, green. It's not something that I would normally go for, but I actually really like the look of that one for a flower. So I'm going to put some in this rose one, but I think it's going to take forever to do it with this brush, so I'm probably going to grab one of my other brushes. I just think it'd be a lot quicker if I did it with this one. Don't think flakes is a good one for this. Maybe the powders? Because I'm thinking, instead of burnish it inside where I might not reach everything, if I flip it inside out and I'm able to hold it inside out, that might be a bit easier. Let's have a look. Much better approach. There you go. Even if you just watch this one video and you've got something from me doing that, it's worth the continuing to watch, and it's worth hitting that thumbs up button. Doesn't cost you anything, neither does subscribing. So if you've not already, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button for more tips and tricks as I learn the process of doing this stuff. I didn't think of how much this will actually use. I think maybe powders might have been a better option on this size of a mould. I might be wrong. And you can probably see little bits of glitter flying up towards the camera, and you're wondering, you've got an extractor that draws all this glitter down, Stacey, how come you're not using it? I forgot. Not forgot that I've got it, I just forgot to get it out to do it. But if you can see the glitter flying up towards you, at least it looks pretty. I'm trying to burnish as I go, but I'm not doing a great job of it. So I'm thinking of just getting it on there with the brush. Luckily most of it's sticking because of the static. And then once I've got more of it on there, I can go in with the little sponge applicator and see if we can get that working better. I'm using a lot more of this stuff than I wanted to. I think I'm going to like Chameleon powders more than flakes, but I've not bought any yet. I don't think it's a good idea actually going in with a different colour, because that means me having to let go of this and open another pot, and yeah, I don't think that's going to work for me. So I think I'm going to go all the way with this colour. Go big or go home. I'm already home, so I'm going big. I'm trying to burnish this in as much as I can without actually damaging the mould, because I don't want any of these really fine petals to be damaged either. And I know I'm going to have a big space from where my fingers have been to hold it, but I'm hoping I can do that by holding the other side once I've burnished it in a bit better. My hand's starting to cramp, so that's the problem I'm facing at the minute. I really should have used that fan extractor though. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll link the video up above of me unboxing it, but found it a fantastic way of getting rid of all glitters and different things that you craft with. Yeah, don't flip inside out yet. Don't flip inside out yet. I don't want to lose the finish. Don't do it. Get back. Get back. Stay. I think that's all it wants me to do. I think I've got it burnished in there as much as I can do. Right, we've got a very shiny top as well as a very shiny desk, but I think I'm ready to go and sort the resin to be poured in. And my daughter's bought me a cover to go over my Cricut so I don't get any of this kind of stuff on my Cricut, so I think I want to start using that. So bye bye Cricut advertisement. So I'm using this resin that I've got from Temu. Use whichever resin you want to. This is a 1:1 part epoxy, and I know from watching some other people's videos that black goes best on the back of these Chameleon Flakes. So that's what I'm going to do. But I've got this habit of making too much resin, so I'm still going to make what I think I need. But if it works out I've got too much, I'd rather have it in a clear. So what I'm going to do is mix what I think I need. I'm going to split it into 2 cups so that I've got half of it in clear and half of it in black. And then if I do need any more black, I can dip into the clear. If not, then I can make something else from that. So let's get this mixed. I'm just going to go in there and mix that together. I might use the stand. I don't think my hands will cope. So I'll get that mixed together and then I'll be back with you. So I'm just scraping everything from the bottom and the sides, and then I'm going to transfer it into this smaller cup. I'll transfer half of it into this smaller cup and then add my black into that, and then we can add more if we need to. So I'm going to do about 3/4 of it into black. I'm going to add a couple of drops of this at a time just to make sure I don't add too much. Actually, I think I'm going to need more than that. Now I'm going to give this a really good stir and then I'll be back with you in a minute. One thing I've got to say about these Temu pigment pastes is I don't really like it. This one. The black just doesn't seem to get black. I'll give it a little bit more stir, but I have put quite a bit in here now and I'm a bit concerned that it's going to change the, the chemical reaction for the epoxy if I put much more in. But it's got quite a lot in there, yet it's still translucent in a lot of ways. In the pot it looks really dark, yeah, but I'm bothered about putting any extra in, so I'm not going to put any more in at this point. I would suggest, if you're looking at buying paste from Temu, that source of black and maybe even the white, but the white's not been too bad for me. The black though, I probably would source it from elsewhere. And as and when I do buy my next lot of pastes, I will be posting that as a video, either as a comparison or a testing out video. One thing it has seemed to have done though is got rid of the bubbles that was in it. I don't know if that's a normal thing to happen when you're adding pastes, or whether that happens just because of this paste and its contents. Right, let's get that poured in and see if we've made enough. Just going to move them out of the way so I don't knock them over. Let's get this poured in. I find that if I fill it up quickly halfway, aim for halfway, I don't generally over pour as much as I have done in the past. Just want to make sure that is going to that tip without touching the bottom, which is why I'm using a spoon instead of a toothpick, because I don't trust myself with a toothpick when there's chameleon powders or chameleon flakes at the bottom. I knew I'd made too much up. Probably a good idea to have put this on here before I poured them. I'm not putting them in the UV machine, it just makes it easier for me to transport them to where I have them covered up overnight. Right, the rose. Right, I'm going to pour a bit of this at a time because I want to make sure that I get in everywhere. And obviously you can't go in this with a micro brush like I normally would do and sort of go around the corners, because it'll remove the chameleon flakes from the surface. So I'm hoping that I've managed to get it in every nook and cranny that's in there, but we won't know until we come to demold it. So there's some bubbles coming up, which is good. That means they're all coming to the surface. Right, what to do with the rest? Let's move you over there for now. We'll burn any bubbles off that are on there now, and then we'll come and burn any others that develop as time goes on. Right, I need another mould. I'll be back in a minute. So I don't know how many I'm going to need, but I'm going to put, this is not the Temu one, this is the one I got from Amazon, which is much better than the Temu one. I'm just going to put some of these in the heart ones that I've got on this. I'm going to have to turn my fan off. Or down, I should say. That's weird. Why is it sticking to some of it and not other bits? Why is it not sticking to that side? That's strange. It's very strange. Working fine on one side of the heart and not on the other. I have no idea. Right, let's try the other heart then. Why is it not going on that side? Doesn't make any sense. It's not doing great on this side either. Wonder what's causing that. I have no idea what's going on here, why it's not burnishing as good on one side as it is the other. I don't think it's anything to do with the brush. Let's just try the other brush. I have absolutely no clue. That's burnishing it better, but or quicker I should say. It's definitely not in every place where I want it. Try a different colour. I don't think that's going to be an issue, but Might as well have a look. I have no idea, but it's not doing what it should be doing. I can't get it to burnish in there. It's just not going on certain areas. Why? Very strange. Anyway, my second thought was going to be pouring some of the clear resin in with some of the chameleon powder, like separate, like tipped in, like flakes suspending, see how they suspend. But I'm not sure what's going on or why the burnishing's not happening for these moulds. It's definitely not doing what it should be doing. And I can't understand why. When I find out why, or if anybody knows why, put it in the comments so we can all learn from it, because I don't know what is actually causing it at this moment in time. Because these are definitely cleaned. I cleaned them myself. And it's now gone into the heart next to it. I didn't want that to happen, but it's on the back, so it's not a problem. Right, I'm going to put the black into that anyway, but there's not much I can do if it's not doing what it's supposed to do. I'm still going to have too much left. I always make too much. I'm just going to try a couple of other ones and see what sticks, if any of them. Just not sticking at all. And I don't understand why. It stuck to the other ones fine. I'm going to stop right there with that one and just use... Oh crap. I was going to say I'll just use these ones over here. Probably should have done that first thing. I wouldn't have had all this trouble, eh? But what is my channel without chaos? So I'm just going to tip the clear one in this and hope it suspends itself. Way too much again, Stacey. It's like the moulds are too shiny to stick to. Is that a thing? I've just got one more thought I could do. And this might just be a good thing that I've thought of, but I don't know what else to try. I'm just going to put a couple of drops of isopropyl alcohol in. And I'm not going to reuse this brush after I've done it with this, but I'm just wondering if this works or not. We'll find out. That's sticking a... it was sticking a bit better. No. I was hoping that maybe that might change something or do something different, but it doesn't look like it. In fact, it looks like it's just making it into a muddy mess, so yeah, don't use alcohol with your Chameleon Flakes. But at least I've learnt that. Not sure, but I think it might actually be sticking now. No, it's not. It's just because of the amount I've put on. I think. I better get that poured before it ends up going into a solid mass. You can tell when I panic, you get results like this one. That's going to take a lot of clean up. Main thing is I don't want it to go into the next one. Right, we've made a bit of a mess, but that's what happens, I suppose, when you're crafting. Got a little bit too much in this one. Okay, all we need to do now is go over that with a lighter. I'm going to come over and check on them again in a little bit, make sure there's no bubbles come to the surface, and we'll be back for demold time. We're back, ready for demolding. Now, we had a bit of some issues yesterday, so this is the following day where I'm going to be demolding. We had problems with the Chameleon Flakes not sticking to the mould. We had to mix some in quick because we had a panic pour. So this is like the extras. And if you think back, I wanted to do at least one where it's in clear and it's got some flakes in it, just to see how that works. The rest were sort of like hit and miss, where I tried to dust the flakes in, it didn't happen, so we mixed it in. Anyway, getting down to the demolding. I'm going to do these first, then I'm going to do the flower, and then I'm going to move on to the hearts, which was the actual reason for doing this test of these Temu products. So let's get on with this one, and I'm going to start with these little hearts. I'm pretty sure they're going to turn out pretty anyway. There we go. That's not too bad for a panic pour. So these two I think was exactly the same with the same glitters. Yep, looks that way. I'm just going to put a backlight on because I'm not sure if you're picking up any glitter. So those are the two hearts that we got out of that one. Pretty and sparkly. These two are the ones that I started off trying to dust in, and it wasn't sticking to the mould. But it's not done too bad a job. There is some parts where it is missing on the sides where it didn't actually pick up. But it gives us an idea of what the actual final decent ones will look like. That's really pretty. Remember this one having a lot of green, which we obviously have on there as well. So that was the flakes sort of just put in, and then the black pigment poured on the top. So that's not mixed in, it's not burnished, but it gives a really nice effect, a different type of effect as well. Right, this one was the clear mixed with the orange flakes. Now for something clear, that's not bad, but we didn't get it all the way through. So it's got it beautiful at the front, but at the back you can see all the resin that's not actually caught the glitter. This I think was just a last minute pour. This has got a little bit of glitter in there, a little bit of different coloured flakes it's picked up. Actually looks really pretty. I'm just not sure if you can see that as good as I can. Then we have this blue one. Well, nice colours. So that one it is burnished in, but it's not done a great job because it wasn't sticking. But it still did what it's supposed to. I'm quite excited to look at these ones where it actually did work. Another blue one. Was it? No, this one's purples and greens. This one looks orangey. And this one where it was semi-burnished in. So let's pick them colours up. It's just an issue that I've got with my mould by the looks of it. I was having a read online why it might actually not be sticking to the mould. And there was a couple of suggestions. One was if you cleaned it, but you may have left some soap residue on there, which is a possibility, of course. What I normally do with these is go over it with some tape, some like sticky tape, and just go over all of the cavities to make sure there's nothing in there. I didn't do that with this one because it just come back from me washing it. It was actually drying. It was dry when I used it, but I hadn't done the tape that I normally would do. We did try mixing alcohol. I think that might have been the one. I think we tried mixing alcohol with one of them to try and push it around. I'll have a look back on the video and I will put a note where the alcohol one actually appeared. That is really pretty. There's definitely more than 2 tones in there. I'd say there's 3 tones in there. You've got the orange shift to the pink, and you've also got greens in there as well, and yellows. So there's different effects that you can get. I mean, that's the same product with the same backing, yet they'll look totally different. No, it's not the same backing. That's the same product, but that one's just got a clear backing and we didn't burnish it. This one's a bit more burnished. Same with these ones. Them ones wasn't burnished, and that's burnished. Burnishing is where you put your product on and then you push it in. Same as when you're drawing. So if you're drawing and you start pressing hard on the pencil to get that lock of colour in and push the tooth of the paper down, it's classed as burnishing, and that's basically what you do with these chameleon powders inside the mould. So that's those. Then these are obviously blue because there's quite a lot of blue around it. I think we'll have the same with this one. Yep, them two are pretty much the same. In fact, they're very pretty. I'll actually use those. So in there you can see the blues, you can see a teal, and you can see a purple as well. And then this last one in this one. There's flakes flying everywhere. So a little bit of overpour, which I can take off quite easy with scissors there, it's quite thin. And that one, again, wasn't mixed in. It wasn't burnished, it was just sort of put there. And that one's really turned out pretty as well. Right, let's get rid of this mould, put that in the washing pile. Okay, next we have this flower. I'm really looking forward to opening this one. Or demoulding it, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to have a lot of cleanup. Right, we have got a little bump on the top there, but I can take that down because that's the bottom of the flower anyway, so that's not an issue. Let's have a look. Oh no, I can see air pockets. Air pockets everywhere. Oh, what a shame. I'm not sure if it's something that I can fix. Right, it's out of the mould. Let's have a look. Now that is really pretty. But we do have some air pockets and it's all at the bottom. So it might be quite easy to repair that. Yeah, I'm definitely going to give that a chance of being repaired. There is the only one that's sort of like chipped out completely is this one. But I think I can build that up with some UV resin and then go over it with the chameleon powders. But the flower itself is stunning. Really like that effect. It looks beautiful. Right, so that's all the panic pours or the extras. Let's move them to one side and we'll get to what we're actually after. So I want to get the colours out that we put in. Okay, so I've got the colours out that we used. We have this one in the orange. Let's get that one out. That is beautiful. So we've got oranges, we've got greens, we've got a little bit of pink. It says orange, gold and green. And yeah, it's definitely true to its colour. To me, it looks a little bit patchy. I don't know if that's because it's flakes rather than powder, because I really did burnishing on these ones. But that is really nice colour. So that's that one. Then we did these three in the light blue, blue violet. These were the sort of panic pour ones, so let's do them two first. That is gorgeous colour. But again, you can see them flakes. And if that's the look you're going for, it really does look beautiful. But it's not like a smooth colour, consistent colour all out. You can sort of see the flecks of the flakes in there. It's a really stunning colour. Light blues, blue and violet. I'm testing out if this camera works better with a light nearby. I'm not sure which looks better for you guys. With or without? I think with might be the one, but you tell me guys. I'm gonna leave it on throughout this video just so you can see which one works better. But yeah, very pretty. So we're gonna have a similar or the same results with this one. Yep, again the flakes. It's a different sort of texture. It does look like there's a texture in there where the flakes have actually been put in, but obviously I did burnish it really well. You did see me, you know, press hard and push that in. I think I took a bit more time with the bigger one, so let's have a look if that's any better. Yeah, you can't see as many flecks on that one. You can see a few, but not loads. So I suppose it depends on what effect you're after. So this one's a light blue, blue violet. So that's with it being really pushed down and really burnished. That one's sort of not burnished as much. So I suppose it's what you're actually going for. I think if you're after an overall consistency throughout, I've got a feeling that the powders might be better, and I will be doing a video on powders. So make sure you're hitting that like and subscribe button and hitting that notification bell so that when that video does come up, you're one of the first ones to see it. I also run the majority of my videos as a premiere, so you can come in and chat to me amongst other lovely people that always turn up. Right, we are now on yellow, green, blue. And we did get a little contaminant there at the back because this stuff flies everywhere. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's definitely that green looking there. But again, we have got the flecks, and I know for this this one I definitely burnished down. So I don't know if that's a product issue where it's sort of not a smooth colour all over, or whether that's just the character of using the flakes rather than the powders. So I will be doing the powders like I said, and obviously you can compare that to this video. So next we're on the blue, violet, orange, green. And again, you can see them flecks. I actually really like that with the flecks in that one. That one looks very rainbowy, if that makes sense. Very pretty. Really, really pretty. And then last but not least, we have the green, blue, yellow, red. Now I don't see any red in there. Definitely see greens and pinks, like a fuchsia kind of pink. There's a bit of teal and then a slight bit of purple, but I don't see any red. So put it in the camera so you can actually see it. Just take that light away because I think it's glaring. So that's the green, blue, yellow, red. To be honest, I can't see any blue in there. I can see greens, pinks and purples. But that's all of them. So that's the full video of these chameleon powders that I've got from Temu. I do plan on doing another video where I compare the budget brand to a well-known brand. But if you've got any suggestions of any chameleon flakes that you'd like me to try up against these, I'm going to have a bit more of a play with these and make sure I can get a good idea of how to use them for myself. And obviously I will share that with you in that video as well, any findings that I've had from there. Right, thanks for watching guys. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button for me. Hit that thumbs up, doesn't cost anything. But the membership's there if you do want to support me. My membership starts at 99p, so the lowest price that you can get on YouTube for being a member. Click on that perks button and it'll show you what perks you actually get for being a member. There's 2 levels, have a look at them and see if you want to join my other channel members. Their links as always are in the description box below so that they get notified that that video is up and you could be one of them too. Anyway, thanks for watching guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you think Temu products are pretty good on a budget and I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching guys, bye!